So some of the coolest Easter eggs that you can find in video games are movie references. And that's what today's video is all about. Now, I've tried to avoid overdone movie references, you know, like It and Back to the Future, but I've also tried to feature some more obscure games, to keep things interesting. If you enjoy Easter eggs in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about, and without further delay, let's get started. Now, because of the way the LEGO games work, there are tons of movie references in LEGO games. I mean, if a game is based on the Harry Potter movies, then you can expect to find a Harry Potter reference or two. It just makes sense. Well, in LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2, instead of referencing any one of the 10,000 different Marvel shows or movies that have released over the past couple of years, the devs chose something different. During the Kunlun Conundrum level, you can find this. So if you ignore the boss fight and go to the edge of the nearby cliff, you can find a lone ring sitting dangerously close to the edge of said cliff. You can also find this little guy, but he's not important. Anyway, this ring is the one ring from the Lord of the Rings, and more specifically, the Return of the King, where a fight for the ring happens in an area just like this. Like I said, of all the things Marvel related the devs could reference, I find it funny they chose to reference Lord of the Rings instead. Now, House Flipper is a very chill game. I mean, even knocking down walls with a sledgehammer is relaxing. Here's the thing. There is one house in House Flipper that is anything but relaxing. The Samata Myers house is one of the fixer-uppers that you can buy and restore in House Flipper. And it even comes with its own ghost face / scary movie mask that will change when you aren't looking.
Yo.
What's up?
Now, despite being called the Samata Myers house, there is a distinct lack of the most famous Myers. No, not that one, this one. Well, if you head outside, you can find this. So across the street, Michael Myers can be seen standing menacingly whilst you renovate his house. Like the mask in the house, whenever you turn your back on Michael, he will take this opportunity to move to a new spot. I mean, if the guy's got any sense, he'll wait until the work is done and then do his whole stabby thing. He could save himself a fortune. Now, before Nathan Drake was called the male Lara Croft was called the female Indiana Jones. Basically, if you raid a tomb or two, be prepared to be called a copycat. The thing is, Lara doesn't exactly help her case during the Tomb of Qualopec level in Tomb Raider Anniversary. So Lara is chased by a giant boulder. And in my case, she didn't do a great job of escaping. Of course, Indiana Jones also famously ran from a boulder in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and unlike my playthrough with Miss Croft, Indy survived. Well, it appears that Tomb Raider Anniversary takes place in an alternate universe, as if we slow the boulder down to a crawl and then zoom and enhance, you can spot Indy's trademark whip and hat stuck to the boulder, which might mean that Dr. Jones couldn't outrun this one. Oh, and you want to know something funny? It took me multiple attempts to record this Easter egg because the boulder kept catching up to me before it could rotate enough to show the whip and hat. So what looks like a really simple Easter egg to record was anything but. Now, when it comes to genres that don't really lend themselves to Easter eggs, the racing genre has to be right near the tippy top. The whole point of a racing game is to drive faster than your opponents, so stopping to check out Easter eggs just doesn't work. Well, it seems that nobody told the developers of the really quite fun trail out. On the behind the port track, you can find this. So that's not something you see every day. Now, this ship-sailing dinosaur is a reference to this scene from Jurassic Park: The Lost World, where dinosaurs invaded San Diego. I mean, the point still stands, as I definitely lost the race, but I'd say seeing a rampaging T-Rex definitely made the loss worth it. Now, Punch Club 2 feels like a game that was specifically made for me. Every location you visit is hiding at least one reference, and in most cases, way more than one. Take the nightclub for example. At a glance, you can see Bruce Lee rocking the mic and Sub-Zero behind the bar, but the person that we're interested in is this young lady. You see, this is Gogo Yubari, the 17-year-old assassin from Kill Bill. I'm guessing that security at the club isn't the best, as Gogo has somehow managed to sneak a flail in. But let's face it, who's going to ask her to leave? Speaking of brilliant Quentin Tarantino movies, up next is Sniper Elite 5. Now, some of the most fun that you can have in Sniper Elite 5 is listening into enemy conversations. And in Mission 3, the conversation that you can overhear may sound familiar.
I'll have a beer. Thanks, Malcolm.
Fine. And you, Lenny? All right then. 3 of your finest beers, please.
God damn it, you've killed us all again, Frank.
What? What?
3 beers. 3! This 3. Not the German 3. If an FBI agent spots that, we're done for.
Damn it all. No one's going to pay attention to something that small, are they?
Oh, well, I'll just tell my wife not to worry then. Don't worry, honey. Everyone orders 3 beers like this in America.
So at first, an argument about how to order 3 beers may sound dumb. But there is a reason for this strange conversation. You see, in Inglourious Basterds, Michael Fassbender's character's cover is blown when he orders 3 drinks in the American way, not the German way.
He ordered 3 glasses. We order 3 glasses. That's the German 3.
To be honest, I'm not sure if this was or is actually a thing. So I'll ask you, how would you hold up your fingers if you wanted to order 3 drinks? Let me know in the comments. Now, if you asked me to name a movie series that I'm surprised that hasn't been referenced more times in games, I would say Hades 2. And then probably the Saw movies. I mean, we get the occasional Billy the Puppet reference, but that's about it. Well, sort of. In 2013's Charlie Murder, you have to make your way through a run-down asylum. In fact, the asylum is so run down that you fall through the floor and end up here. So Charlie wakes up with his head in a trap and is forced to fish for the key from the insides of this unlucky corpse. Or at least, I hope it's a corpse. Now, this is a reference to the same trap that Amanda found herself in Saw 1, though the key that she had to find was inside the stomach of a living person. If the reference needed to be any clearer, just before falling through the floor, you can find this person that looks just like Amanda and her time as John Kramer's nurse. Now, I know that I said I wanted to avoid overdone movie references. Now, I've tried to avoid overdone movie references. See, I did say that. But how often do you see a crow slaughtering sheep with a lightsaber? Just Crow Things is a delightful game about being the world's most annoying crow. Somehow your carnage-causing antics soon land you on the moon, and it's up here we can find our Easter egg. So this is a reference to the time that Han Solo was frozen in carbonite, which is something that we've seen in plenty of games before. However, near the carbonite is a lightsaber that can be used to wreak havoc on the sheep community. Now, at the time of recording, the Le Chiffre Hitman mission has just been announced as part of Summer Games Fest, and I'm guessing that's going to have a couple of cool Bond Easter eggs to find. But for now, you'll have to make do with a horror movie icon. On the author mission, you have to take down, you guessed it, an author that has fallen foul of 47. Being a famous author, he has his fair share of fans, some of who will even dress up as characters from his books. Well, one of these fans is this guy.
Mom, it's my money. But why can't you just be happy for me? Yeah, I'm hanging up now. Hanging up now. Goodbye.
So the superfan was wearing a costume that looks almost identical to the costume Ghostface wears in the Scream movies. Of course, there is always a chance that this was just a coincidence. But come on, it definitely wasn't. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.